welcome back. I hope you all are well rested, and I hope that you had a good time yesterday. Today is another exciting day. Today we're going to find out about Jesus' power, and it gives us hope. Our Bible verse today is from Psalm. That's in the Old Testament of the Bible, Psalm 31:34. And it says, "Be strong and courageous, all you who put on the hope of the Lord." Remember, Jesus' power gives us hope. And what did we do yesterday when we said our power verse? We said, remember, we pulled out our whistles. Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus. All right. All right. All right. So today you may notice that we have left our previous location, and today we're down by the water. And you know why? Because today's lesson has to do with Saul. Remember Saul from yesterday? He had the scales on his eyes, and when they laid the hands on Saul, the scales came off and he could see again. Well, Saul, now being a believer in Jesus, is going to trust even more in that Jesus will always be there and take care of him. Remember, our power verse is Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus. So, because we're by the river, we might get a little wet today. And what we will find out about Saul is he got really wet. So we can do a lot of things. We can control the TV channel. We can control the dog if we have it on a leash. What we can't control is the weather. And we're going to see what happens when the weather just doesn't cooperate. And if you note, we got some pretty blue skies, but the clouds are rolling in, and we could have a thunderstorm at any minute. So there's some cargo that we've had to stow away on this pretend boat that we're on today. So if you think about it, maybe get some pillows off your couch or whatever and pretend like you're taking them onto the boat. You know, getting on a ship too, because a ship is rolling back and forth. Getting on a ship sometimes be tricky, so I want you to be careful when you get on the ship. You know, you might think about using your couch, but just have some fun with it. Pretend like you're out on the sea. Or in our case, we're down by the river. Listen to this. It says, I just got this letter right here. It says, "Dear Jay, I'm feeling a little green around the gills today, so I won't be able to sail the ship. But maybe, just maybe, you used to sail, so you can be in charge. Have a fun voyage, and thanks for your help. Signed, the captain." Oh my goodness. It's been a while since I've sailed a ship, but it'll all come back to me sooner or later, I am sure. Sort of like riding a bike, right? Except wetter, and of course without any wheels. All right, everybody, are you ready? Get up on your feet and let's make this place ship shape. First off, let's hoist up those sails. You helping me do that? Fantastic. Second thing, let's swab the deck. You know, a clean ship is a happy ship. So let's swab the deck. You know what swabbing is? It's mopping the deck. And then finally, let's haul up the anchor so that we can get going as quick as we can, so that we can get going on our voyage. Is everybody helping me do these things? I sure hope so. Okay, let's fire up the engines. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is Bible time. They didn't have engines back then. That's right. We'll have to get power another way. So, what do you think? What should we do? Well, maybe the wind. Maybe the wind will wait. Well, you know what? While we're waiting on the wind, maybe we can have a little story. Remember when we said earlier that some things we can control and some things we can't? This is one of those things where we are powerless to control. The wind blows when the wind blows. The rain falls when the rain falls. And we can't do anything about it. We can just hope and pray that we get some wind here pretty soon. So, while we're waiting, let's talk about something. Tell me about something you'd like to change in your life, but you feel powerless, absolutely powerless to do anything about. As for me, I feel a little powerless about our grandson. And we have been hoping that he would learn to walk, but guess what? He's going to walk when it's time for him to walk, and there's not a daggone thing I can do about it or his Gigi can do about it. It is all up to our grandson Bennett to decide when it's time to walk. How about you? Maybe there's a bully in your life that you feel powerless to confront, or maybe you've got a broken friendship, you know, and you just don't know what to do to repair that friendship. Sometimes you just feel like there's no hope. But thanks. Can you all tell me one thing that you know, share with your mom or dad, or just quietly in your own on your own room? Can you tell me something that you feel powerless about? Remember. All right. Well, thank you all for sharing. I know sometimes sharing can be pretty difficult, but sometimes it feels pretty good when you tell somebody that you've got a problem or that you're feeling hopeless. Because guess what? A lot of times people, especially older people, have probably been through the same things that you're feeling hopeless about, and may have some pretty good advice on how to gain hope. And of course, the best hope that we have is our trust in Jesus. So, remember our fancy verse, our power verse today is Jesus' power gives us hope. And what do we say? Trust Jesus. All right. Hey, look. Look, the leaves are blowing. We have wind. All right, let's go. Now, this should be a fairly easy trip, unless that prisoner chained up down below is right. He said our ship would sink. He said it, and that the cargo would float off and we wouldn't be sailing today. But he's not a sailor, so let's not pay any attention to him. His name is Paul, and from what I hear, he's a Christian, and who got in a lot of trouble because he keeps telling people about Jesus. Can you imagine that? After God changed his heart from hating Jesus followers to being a Jesus follower, the Emperor of Rome doesn't want people following Jesus. You know why? Because the Emperor wants the people to follow him. So guess what? Paul, being Paul, and he's a pretty brave customer, he just kept talking, and now he's off to Rome to stand trial in front of the emperor himself. I wouldn't want to be in Paul's shoes or sandals. I heard some of you might be Christians too. How many of you out there are Christians? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Oh, that's good. That's good. I am glad to see that. And some of you who aren't Christians, guess what? Through this week, we hope that you will learn a little bit about Jesus and that you will want to become a Christian, that you will want to give your heart to Jesus and accept Him as your Savior and become a follower of Christ and become a Christian. But we'll talk about that some more as we go along. So, let me ask you a question. If you could tell a person who didn't know Jesus something about Jesus, what would you say? You can talk to your parents, you can talk to your dog, you can talk to your cat if you have a cat, but tell somebody about Jesus. What would you say? What is the one thing you would say about Jesus? Paul was told not to talk about Jesus, and he did it anyway. What do you think Paul's punishment should be? Remember, we're back in the olden days, just after Jesus had walked the earth. So being a Christian was a pretty scary time. It was a pretty scary thing to be back then. But Paul was bold. So I really thank you for sharing what you think Paul's punishment should be. Now, if we talk about Jesus, hey, everybody feel that? What is going on? I guess it's rain because I am feeling a little bit of, wait a minute, I'll go below and check the charts just in case we're heading into a bad weather. Wait a minute, we don't have charts. We don't have radar. We're in Bible times. Uh-oh. I'll check with Paul while I'm down there. And while I'm gone, you better talk and come up with a plan for what you'll do if the ship sinks. Remember, we might get a little wet. Bad news, mates. Bad news. Down below, there's water already starting to slosh around. And that means we're heading into rough seas. You know, we've got rough seas all around us some days. That doesn't necessarily have to be water. There's things that happen around us. I sure hope that Paul guy wasn't right about what's coming our way. Things could get rough. I mean, really. Can you feel it? The wind's starting to kick up. Can you hear it? It sounds like a train is coming. That is the worst sounding thunderstorm I have ever heard. Everybody, lean to port. Oh, wait, that's to your left. Now, starboard. Oh, that's to your right. We'll try to hug the shoreline. Let's hug the shoreline before the ship breaks up. Quick, help me. Haul in the sails. Grab them puppies down here. Paul said we should eat. We're going to need our strength. He had sea biscuits and gave them to each of us. Everybody, grab a sea biscuit. Sea biscuits are not the best thing I've ever eaten. But at least it's something. The good news, bad news, fellows and ladies. The bad news is that Paul says the ship's going down. The good news is that none of us will drown. Paul says that Jesus will take care of us, and he means all of us. Is that shore over there? Is that the shore I see? I'm going to put the sea biscuit down before it makes me sink. I can't see much through all this rain. Anyone else see the shore? We'll try to get to the shore, but I have a tough decision to make. In a situation like this, I'm supposed to kill the prisoners so they won't get away. Remember, I am the captain of the guard, so I have extreme responsibilities for them. One of them is making sure prisoners don't escape. But Paul, he gave us food. I guess you would call that food. I would call that a shingle. Paul, he gave us food. He says his friend Jesus will take care of us. So maybe I should let him live. What do you all think? You think I should let Paul live, or should I kill him so that he doesn't escape? Well, I'm glad. Okay, then I'll let him go. Thank you. You, go down below deck, unchain the prisoner. I said go down below deck and unchain the prisoner. Okay, thank you. Now, let's cut those anchors and make it to shore. The storm's getting worse. Oh no, we're running aground. The ship's breaking apart. We're gonna have to jump overboard and swim for it. Are you ready, mates? All right, let's go. Think I should jump overboard here? I think I will. Close, I think I can just walk over to the shore. I think we'll just hold up for just a moment. All right, well, you know what? It's better to be safe than sorry. So on the count of 3, jump overboard. Ready? 1, 2, freeze! Whoa, 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 whoa. My heart is racing. Everyone, sit down. I have to sit before my legs give in. Imagine being on that ship as it splintered under you and you dropped into a huge wave crashing against the shore. Lightning was flashing. Wind was howling. It must have been awful. It must have been horrible. But Paul was right. Not one person on that ship was lost. As a matter of fact, trusting in Jesus gave them hope in this shipwreck situation. Now, circle up as best you can. Earlier we talked about a situation that you felt powerless. And I need to ask you one question. Talk again, this time, about how Jesus' power might give you hope for those situations. You just saw what Paul did and Jesus did for Paul by trusting in Jesus. How might Jesus' power make a difference? Why, thank you all for sharing. I know sometimes it's hard to share what's on your heart, but it's a good thing. So, I know that my friendship with Jesus powers us with the hope I have for, the situation I shared earlier about Bennett Walk. I know that Jesus will work with Bennett at the right time, and when Bennett is ready and Jesus is ready for Bennett to start walking, Bennett's going to take off like a flash, and there's really no need for me to worry about it. So I'm so glad I know Jesus, and I know that praying about my situation, talking to God about it, is helpful. So if we could, let's recite our power phrase one more time. Remember, Jesus' power will give them hope. Trust Jesus. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.